But we'll play a little bit of a intro thing here. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing this afternoon? That's right. Mountain Grit Live's coming at you this afternoon, and we got a special guest with us. We're going to go ahead and bring him up, and that's Nick of Nick's Quick Reviews. How's it going today?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fine.
I cannot complain. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Looks like
I appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh yeah, looks like everything's all right now. Making sure. Yeah, looks like everybody's audio. I can hear you pretty good. Everything's doing all right. Hey, we got old
Awesome.
Trees with us. Howdy there, buddy. How you doing? Yeah. Of course, we got acquainted probably through Facebook, and we both have YouTube channels and kind of throw out content out there. What started? What made you want to start a YouTube channel or just do the reviews in general?
Well, I started it years ago, probably 14, 15 years ago initially. And the reason I started is because a buddy of mine was making knives, and I thought they were just some of the best knives that I've ever put hands on, period. And I wanted to do demonstrations and reviews on them and then put them on YouTube to try to showcase just how tough they were, how, they maintained the edge great. You could do a lot of real heavy duty work with them. And so I started making videos showcasing these particular knives from Two Birds Metalworks here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. So, so knives is probably predominantly the most of what you review on your channel. I know there's other gear that you've reviewed as well, but I guess you would say knives is what brought you to the game anyway.
Yeah, knives was the primary focus, but it's branched out. I went through a spell where initially it was a lot of custom knives doing the reviews, and then I took probably, 10 years to where I wasn't doing any reviews at all. The page just sat there. And then I got a wild hair about 6 to 9 months ago to go on and restart it back up and start back at it. And I've been full steam ahead since then.
Right. That's good. And I've watched a lot of your stuff, and I enjoy watching your reviews. I got a few questions kind of wrote down here, but
okay.
Maybe another question is what makes a knife worth buying in your opinion?
Well, that's going to be different for everybody. For me personally, I like them all. If I could, I'd buy every knife out there, but that's not feasible. But for me, if it's comfortable in the hand, if it maintains a good edge, if it's easy to sharpen in the field, if I can do bigger work with it than what you would think it's supposed to be meant for. Not that you should do bigger work with it, but you've got other tools for that. But the fact to just know that it can if it needs to.
Right. And you're talking about probably batoning and things like that. And then, myself, I don't see a problem. I know some folks out there don't believe in using a knife to split wood with, but yeah, if there's a reason, if you have to, you have to.
Right. Well, if you think about it, traditionally, people used what was called a froe to split wood. Other than an axe, they would use a froe. And all a froe is a big slab of metal that's thick enough that you just beat it through the piece of wood and bust it open. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: if you took that handle off that fro and you held it like a knife, you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't want to do fine work with it. You wouldn't want to try to peel an apple with a fro blade,
Oh,
and vice versa. So I feel like when these people go for one tool options, they're trying to marry those two worlds. And
right.
sometimes it doesn't always work, but you can get close though. I feel like you can get close with certain designs.
There's an old saying here in the hills of East Kentucky is a lot of times they'll say, "Well, that's duller than a fro." But
Hey, there's a saying here: it's the right tool for the right job.
right. But we froze were used a lot here, and I'm not sure about Louisville or in that area, but I'm sure at one time tobacco, was a big crop here in East Kentucky and Central Kentucky, and a lot of times that's what they would use back in the day was a fro to make the tobacco sticks that you would hang the tobacco,
Okay.
in the barn and things. But
Yeah.
tobacco.
There's actually there's a segment that we do called flea market finds,
Hmm.
and there's a little peddler's mall close to us that if you look on the Nick's Quick Reviews page on Facebook, there's a picture of it in there in the photos, and it's an old tobacco knife, and it's just a long wooden handle with kind of a rectangular square blade, and
Hmm.
it's I mean I'd hate to even think of what date that thing was put together, but it's a very purpose-driven tool when you look at it.
Oh yeah, I've seen plenty of them in my day. A lot of them were handmade, right on the farm, probably using just scrap steel, things like that. Something to
Hmm.
sharpen it up with, and pretty much a wooden handle. But yeah, there would be a good tool to have. I mean, even if you were out in the woods hiking or whatever, you needed to clear a trail of some sort. I mean, it's not necessarily a machete, but it would work in a pinch. Hey, there's Wolves Den
Yeah.
Outdoors. Good to see you there, brother. We've got a few people in here with us. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, guys. Okay, let's see. We'll continue on here. You've tested everything from budget blades probably to high end steel. For the average outdoorsman or prepper, when is it worth spending big, and when can a cheaper tool do the job just fine?
Well, that's a variable also. It depends on how much you want to sharpen your knife.
Right.
For me, one of the best knives that I found, and it's not crazy expensive, but it's the Mora Bushcraft Black. I know everybody's going to say Mora, and it's the one in carbon steel in particular. It's got a comfortable handle. It's carbon steel, so it sharpens up easy. You can get a spark off the spine of it with a piece of chert or a piece of flint if you want to do primitive flint and steel fire. It's
Hmm.
got a nice acute point for opening stuff up. It's got just enough belly where you can trim stuff out with it. And it's a Scandi grind, but once you sharpen it and use it a little bit, you're going to develop like a secondary bevel on it. Some people say it comes with a secondary bevel. I'm not sure. I know out of the box, it was hair shaving sharp. But
Yeah.
it's just an all around great tool. Probably about a 4.5 inch blade, very comfortable handle. The sheath got a drain hole in it, and it's not going to break the bank. You can pick them up for between 30 and $35. And it's just, if I had to pick one knife to take with me into the woods, that would most likely be it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, some folks don't like the sheaths for those, and maybe even the handles for those. I mean, more traditional type folks maybe. Um, but I mean, I've just heard that through the grapevine from a lot of folks. But they are good knives. I
Yeah.
don't have Bushcraft Black, but I do have a Mora Companion. It don't have a
Oh
nice
yeah.
line, but I made one.
Well, let me ask you this: is it a stainless or a carbon?
It's this one's stainless.
Okay, I went on a kayaking trip
I'm pretty.
down to, I'm trying to think of the name, Harrods Creek, a couple years back, and we shot a video because everybody said you can't strike a ferro rod with a stainless steel knife, and we had a stainless Mora Companion, and I
Hmm.
took a stone out of the creek, just ran it along the spine for about 5 minutes maybe, put a little burr on that edge on the spine of it, and I got a spark right now. It just shower sparks. So if
Yeah.
anybody ever says you can't get a spark with a ferro rod on a stainless knife, they're telling you a story.
Oh, I mean, I was able to, but
Oh yeah, they don't come with it, but with a little elbow grease, you can make it happen.
every reviewer comes across something that performs way better or worse than expected. What piece of gear recently surprised you the most?
Um, so I did a budget knife called a Stahl Winco um, a Stahl Winco stiff boning knife. It runs about $11 online. It's got a plastic yellow handle. It just looks like a knife you would find in anybody's kitchen. But
Right.
I put that up against a More Neve Basic, which is the carbon steel, but it's a Scandi grind, whereas the Stahl Winco is a flat grind. And
Hmm.
the thing that surprised me is I was putting them through their paces, and then in one of the videos, one of the tasks was to cut meat with it. And so I was trimming out some, I think it was pork chops or chicken or something like that. And I was absolutely shocked at how dull the more basic performed next to the Stahl Winco. And I know why. It's because the Stahl Winco is a flat grind versus a Scandi grind. But I didn't expect it to be that much of a difference. That was what surprised me on the bad end of things. On the good end of things, a piece of kit that surprised me was it's just a tiny little flashlight by a company called Woobin, and this thing is maybe the size of a Zippo lighter, if that.
Hmm.
Width, length. I mean, it's almost identical to the size of a Zippo lighter, and this thing lit up the whole backyard. We got a video on the YouTube channel of using it, running through the paces on it and the different modes. And
Right.
it's just a surprisingly handy little tool. It's got a magnet in the butt cap of it, so you can stick it to stuff. The lens that shines the light out swivels, so you can direct it. It's
Hmm.
got a pocket clip on it, so you can clip it on your hat, and you make
Hmm.
a headlamp out of it if you need to.
Oh yeah.
Bunch of different colors, and it ran. I think it cost me $24, and it was absolutely shocking how good of a piece of kit that is, how compact it is, and how affordable it is. That one surprised me in a positive way.
Yeah, I got one that's pretty much like that. It seems like I can't remember the brand name of it, but it for this compact size, it does great.
I just thought of it. It's the Woobin G5. That's the exact model and brand. Woobin G5. If you look that up, it is just an absolute powerhouse in a tiny package.
You know, another question here for you. A lot of listeners use their knives hard, hunting, trapping, bushcraft, you name it. What's your go-to
Yeah,
advice keeping a knife sharp and ready for the long haul? I mean,
honestly, I'm wearing it right now. You see this?
yeah.
So this is the Wazoo Viking Whetstone necklace, and
Yeah.
I'm sure people have seen this before, but this thing absolutely performs in a pinch when you need it. It's just basically an Arkansas hardstone,
Right.
uh, but it's got a bunch of different bevels on it, so you can get in serrations. You can get in if it's a high flat or if it's a Scandi grind. You've got enough room where you can basically hone it on this little necklace, and you just carry this everywhere you go. I mean, I forget I have it on sometimes,
Right.
and I've used it
I have
numerous amounts of times.
and seen them a few times. That's something I'd like to pick up myself.
Yeah, my wife got this for me for a Christmas gift a couple years ago, and it has not left my side.
There you go. There you go.
It's it's been excellent. Wazoo gear. I highly recommend checking it out. And they have them now too. They have a little small ferro rod. Like if you see where the knot is on there, they have them that have a little small ferro rod with a striker.
Yeah.
So it acts as a sharpening stone, but also as an emergency fire starter if you need it. And
Right.
it's a little ferro rod, but You can get a spark off of it. I've tried them. You can definitely do it.
Oh yeah, I have. I've used little ferro rods before. There's a video somewhere on my channel where I've used the actual kind of compared my ferro rod, my big ferro rod, against like a little small ferro rod that's in the like the survival paracord bracelets, and you
Hmm.
know, not that it was going to say one was going to beat the other. I mean, I kind of played it that way, but I was just kind of showing that you can get a spark off those little ferro rods if you need to in a pinch.
You can. You might bust your knuckles up doing it, but you can do it if you got to. Yeah, that's one of the things you mentioned comparing them. That's one of the things I like to do on the channel, and it kind of spurred me to restart it. Is comparing uh, certain knives to other knives that are similar, and just seeing
Hmm.
uh, how much of a difference in performance there is versus price versus value, and just trying to showcase it to where people can make a more informed decision and don't have the regret of, oh, I bought this super expensive knife, but this $50 knife would have done the same thing. That's kind of where it came from. So I've when I first started it back up, there was a lot of knife versus knife to see which one did better at what and that kind of thing.
Right. Outdoors big with Big Matt. He's joined us. Good to see you, Matt. Wolves Den Outdoors. He says, to be honest, his current go-to knife is the Buck 119.
Yes, sir. Nothing wrong with a buck knife.
Let's see what else we got here. I apologize. I had to write these down that way I can remember them.
Oh, no worries.
Um, I mean, I guess with all new steels, lock mechanisms, and bushcraft tools hitting the market, what trends are you seeing in outdoor gear, and which ones do you think are actually worth paying attention to?
Um, as far as trends, it goes two separate ways. You have the stuff that's super modern and ultra lightweight and just bare minimum, and then you have the old school stuff that's more leather, carbon steel.
Right.
Uh, People looking to the past for inspiration, looking at people like Kephart and Nessmuk and what they carried, and
Mhm.
building off of that, and looking at what the mountain men carried and that kind of thing. Um, Me personally, I like both. I like a mix of modern and a mix of traditional.
Yeah.
What I've been doing myself right now currently is because I'm really bad about this in the wintertime. I kind of hoard gear, and then in the springtime, it's like spring cleaning. I sell it off and start fresh and get new stuff, or
Mhm.
one in, one out kind of thing.
Right.
But what I've been doing lately is building a traditional set of knives, which is like your Nessmuk style knife, your Kephart style knife, your Canadian belt knife, that kind of thing, your Hudson Bays, stuff like that, with just carbon steel, wood handles, traditional, leather
Right.
sheaths, but then also having their modern counterpart in modern materials. My Carter G10, still in the same style, a Kephart, but just with Sandvik stainless steel, my Carter handles, that kind of thing. So I've been trying to match up the modern with the traditional, and they might not match perfect, but they're pretty close because most knives are just a slight variation off an older model anyway. So you can find some that are pretty close to each other. It's just the materials differ.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of like you. I kind of like a little mix of both. I mean, I got a few here that I just show off, but I mean, and this is just something that was made. The sheath was made by someone, and then this little
Very nice.
deal right there. I mean, I'm
Was
not
that
sure.
stag handles?
Huh? Yeah.
Was that stag handles on there?
Yeah. Trying to get it to come in
Oh
there,
yeah, I can see it. That's nice.
but
That's real nice.
I mean, I get some stuff like, oh, I got this little pouch here. What that is a foraging pouch. You can bring that down, and I mean, you can collect tinder or edibles or whatever there. So I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah. Yeah,
it.
I'm big on that. I love forging.
And then what else we got here? Oh yeah, this was probably one of my first videos I ever made was on this right here, old hickory.
Yeah, can't beat a classic. Yes, sir.
But
That's what I went to visit my brother down in Florida over the summer, and we were talking, and I said I was asking him about what kind of knives he uses down there because he does a lot of fishing, and he opened the drawer up and there was about 3 or 4 different old hickory butcher knives in there, and I was like, okay, and I asked him, I said, well, how do you sharpen them? And he said, I got a sharpening steel, the steel rods that they sharpen with, and
mm-hmm.
I said, have you ever used the bottom of your coffee cup? And
Right.
he said, no, what do you mean? I said, give me a coffee cup. And I'd had a couple beers at the time. And so I sharpen it up on the bottom of the coffee cup and I go to, just to make sure it's sharp, shave a little bit of hair off my arm. And I
Mm-hmm.
took a little bit more than the hair off. I took a nice little chunk out of it. But hey, it was sharp. So that's all that matters. Nothing a little Band-Aid and Neosporin won't fix.
Right. Um,
But yeah, that old carbon steel, you can't beat it.
no, I agree with that. Uh, you've built a pretty solid community around honest, fast reviews. What can fans expect next from your channel? Any big projects, collabs, or gear tests coming up?
Um, yeah, so basically when we started back up, we started a series. I reached out. There's a knife store down here called Red Hill Cutlery in Radcliffe, Kentucky, and I reached out to them and talked to the owner and the operators, and they just were super helpful people. They said, "Come on down." It started off with me wanting to just show the store and try to lure people to the store to get them to go in there and just show they had a really great knife selection. And
Mm-hmm.
it turned into, hey, if you want to review knives down here at the store, you're welcome to. And they just really opened the doors to it and embraced us and really helped us out a lot and invited us to come down to the different events that they throw. It's usually every 3 or 4 months they have an event. They had Bourbon and Blades back in, I want to say September,
Mm-hmm.
which is a big buck knife event. They had a case knife event a couple months prior to that, and that's where we've been going down and doing pocket checks and stuff. But when we go down, we do what's called the RHC Quick Talks, which is Red Hill Cutlery Quick Talks, where
Mm-hmm.
we approach it from the perspective of a customer coming into the store and they're undecided. They don't know quite what they're looking for, but they got an idea. And so we just pluck a knife off the shelf. We go over the handle material, the way you open it up and close it, the type of steel that it is, sometimes the price,
Mm-hmm.
and just give a look at it to where they can kind of get a feel for what they're looking at. Because if you're just looking at a website, that's good, but if you can see it in hand and see how it functions and kind of get the dimensions of it, I feel like that gives a better picture and helps people make their decision a little bit more informed decision. So
Yeah.
when you go to the YouTube channel, any of those knives on there, I've started to where we've got a coupon code in the description section for any of the subscribers to use at checkout. But then underneath of that, we've started putting a link to that particular knife that's being reviewed in the
Mm-hmm.
description. So that way it's a one-stop shop. You can go look at the review, get the coupon code, and click on the link and go right to the website for that particular knife if that's something that you are interested in.
All right. Well, that's a good idea. Um, Outdoors with Big Matt, he's sitting there saying he says go-to sharpener is an old busted light bulb.
Oh, okay. Never heard that one, but if it works, it works.
And well, I mean, you mentioned the coffee, the coffee cup. I've even had. Well, I had someone show me one time using the edge of a car window, or your truck window or whatever.
Yep. Yep. Same principle. You just find the angle of your bevel. You find
Mm-hmm.
that little ring on the bottom of the coffee cup or the edge of your window that's not coated,
Right.
and you just hone it up on that a few times, and it'll get hair popping sharp.
Let's see here. Oh, Mind on Biz, Red Hill Cutlery is a great store. They say. Oh, it's an old halogen light.
Oh, that's That's my buddy John. Yeah, he went down there with me to the Bourbon and Blades event. Yeah, we had a good time down there.
Hello, John. Good to see you. But if anybody's in the chat's got any questions, go ahead. Feel free to ask. I've kind of wrapped up what all, and now it's just kind of a free for all.
Well, I'll tell you what. Before we get into the questions, I want to give a big hello to the guys at Hoosier Bushcraft. They're out there doing winter training right now, doing
Yeah.
fire starting. I planned on going up there, but it would have been too much to try to pack into a short amount of time. But that's a good group of guys. If y'all don't follow them, check out Hoosier Bushcraft, Warriors in Nature, uh, RG Fabrique, who you had on a week or two ago. We talked, and he's putting something together for me. I put an order in with him. Just a great group of guys. Scarlet Fire Bushcraft. That's Fred Lucas. He's the one that showed the little birch box that he made,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
for some reason people love that video. They absolutely love that video.
Oh, it's because that's bushcraft right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, it's a good time whenever they have events, I'm gonna try to get up to them because I had a great time sitting around the fire with those guys. It's a bunch of good people.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those videos that you put out there where y'all was at the last one, and that was great. Um, Tony
Yeah.
Richardson, I think his name is. He's kind of one that heads that up, if I ain't mistaken.
Yep. Him and Gummy.
He he's going to be starting a podcast soon, a YouTube channel. That's pretty much going to be predominantly
Yep.
a podcast, from my understanding. I think he's going to actually have the folks in studio, which would be great. I mean, this setting right here is all right because, I mean, you're in the comforts of your home, I'm in the comforts of mine. But, being able to have some type of studio like that, it would be awesome as well.
Yeah. Well, I'd actually thought when I was considering making the run up there, because for me it's about a 2.5 hour drive from where I'm at to where they usually do their events and stuff at. And I was thinking about it, and I could have done it, but the concern was that I wouldn't be back in time to be on here, or that if I was up there and trying to, because I considered actually trying to do this interview from there, sitting around the campfire with the guys and talking with everybody. But the way the signal is up there, it's
Mhm.
so hit and miss that it might not have worked out like it is right now with us, because when I was going up there last time, I was losing signal
Yeah.
here and there trying to make my way up there. So yep. It's just easier to do it this way. And I let them know I'll be at the next one. So,
There you go. Yeah. I wouldn't mind trying to, it'd be a little farther away for me, but yeah, those are some great guys. I mean, I've gotten to know them somewhat, at least through, chatting with them on social media and things like that. But yeah, it'd be great to
yeah.
meet up with them.
Well, and the thing is too, sitting around talking with them, there's so many everybody's got a different skill set. Like
Yeah.
one of the guys up there, John, he's a trapper.
Hmm.
So we took a look at his packer trap, or his trapper pack, that
Right.
just basically goes over what he uses when he's working his trap line and getting beaver and otters and stuff like that,
Hmm.
because I don't know very much about that. So it was very eye opening to see the type of gear that they use for that. And then speaking with Fred Lucas and looking at his fire setup and his philosophy behind building a fire from the ground up, and seeing them actually take somebody who had never made a ferro rod fire and being able to give them detailed instruction in real time, from no fire to getting a full blown fire right there on the spot. Uh, it was very neat to watch it
Oh yeah.
occur, and you can see that on the YouTube channel. We broke it down into a couple different videos, from them gathering the tinder to preparing the tinder to actually striking it and effecting the full fire with it. So
Oh yeah. And that's the thing is, I mean, you talking about that. I mean, when you get all those steps in together and you see them, you think, wow, there's quite a bit of an extensive process of getting a fire, especially gathering tinder material and then breaking that stuff down to where those fibers are exposed to where, it would catch spark pretty good. John
Yep, it's
there,
all about preparation.
talking about the work sharp field sharpeners, a must have for him.
Oh yeah, yep. I know about those. Those are very handy little tools.
Speaking of Gummy, right there he is. He
There
said,
he is.
"Sorry, I'm late." It's no problem, no worries.
But yeah, it's yeah, preparation is key. I think there's a quote floating around. I don't know if it's an actual quote from him or if it's something somebody made up on the internet, but it was supposed to be an Abraham Lincoln quote. And they asked him if you had, I think they said a day to cut down a tree, how would you break it up? And he said, I'd spend half the day sharpening my axe. And so that just goes back to preparation is key. You got to get everything in place first, and then the
Yeah,
steps afterward
okay.
should be fairly easy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good sharp cutting tool is what it's all about.
Yes, sir. Yep, because you're going to work a lot harder with a dull tool than you will with something that's properly sharpened and ready to go.
That's true.
Yes, sir.
Let's see here, trying to make sure we didn't miss anybody here throughout this time. I want to say hello to Miss Debbie Gronlin. She joined us there a little while. She might still be with us. Hello, Debbie. How you doing? She's a moderator there on Frontier Survival Family, the Facebook group we got going on over there. So she does a good job over there,
Okay.
making certain folks get in and certain folks don't.
Right on, right on. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go on and make that little short promo last night for the YouTube channel for this show today because uh, I think Facebook banned me again for just posting all the content because I do post a lot of content, but I think that there's something in the algorithm that sees it as spam, and then it bans that actual page from being active or me being able to post anything. So, and it's usually when we have something like this going on to
Mm-hmm.
where it makes it tough to promote for it because you're basically locked out of the page. But
Right.
yeah, we've got a Facebook page called Nick's Quick Reviews, just like the channel. If you get on YouTube and look up Nick's Quick Reviews, it should pop right up. And yeah, it's been getting a pretty good response. We wound up down at the Green River Blade Club show or knife show.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I don't know, couple weeks ago, and I'm talking to some of the guys down there and people I'd never met before, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen the channel. Da, da, da. Yeah, I'll do a interview or a pocket check with you. We've seen the channel, or we follow it, or whatever." And I'm like, "Well, the word's getting out, so that works."
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it is. I mean, it just seemed like the other day we had just 100 or so members of the Facebook group we got going on over there, and I kind of created that deal. I mean, I actually have a Frontier Survival Facebook page and my personal page, and then that group page, and we kind of started that because, uh, you know, in the beginning when I would try to post there's certain groups out there that have to do with bushcraft or even preparedness or self-reliance that just don't want you to promote anything like that. They don't, so I decided, you know, I can understand that you wouldn't want a group where it's just all everybody promoting their YouTube channel and it's not so much that, but you know, I don't mind if people promote their stuff. Mr. Gummy there, RG Fabrique, he promotes his stuff, and I've it's just no big deal. I mean, I just figured that, there needs to be a group out there that if a YouTuber wants to promote their channel, and if it has to do with the outdoors, then that should be, that group right there. And, we're a little bit over 3,000 members now, so everything's on the up and up. We've been able to, you know, as far as the YouTube channel goes, a lot of times I wasn't always consistent there, but we've gotten the ability to be able to throw out short videos here and there and just be a little bit more consistent, and things are on the looking up there as well. So, I mean, that's kind of all you have to do is, maybe a video a week or two, and things, you pretty much stay in the green on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've noticed y'all's Facebook page growing because I see the announcement sometimes when it shows the new members that
Hmm.
come in, and y'all welcoming them in, and it's growing and growing and growing. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's all right. I mean, I enjoy kind of that whole aspect of it. I mean, being the admin of the group, you know, checking the folks out that are asking to be members, because you got to kind of do that, and if you see like you
Yeah.
got groups in common and things like that, then you can pretty much, you know, I posed a few questions there for anybody that wants to be a member. A lot of times they don't answer them. I mean, I guess they just I don't know why, but I'll usually let them in anyway. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of times, they will be posts that get caught as spam, and a lot of times it's somebody that's actually been a member for a long time. And then what I'll do is pre-approve them. That way, if they do post something else, it won't get caught as spam.
Right. Yeah,
Yep.
and I know there's some groups that are open to that, and then there are other groups not so much. And I'm in so many groups that I have a problem remembering which one's which. So if it seems like I'm spamming your group, all apologies. I'm just trying to put the content out there and
Well, the thing
do what
is
I
any
can. So
group that really doesn't stand for that too much, they'll pretty much let you know. I mean, or they've let me know.
yeah, I've got some inbox messages, and hats off to the people that send them because they were very polite and courteous, and it's appreciated. And I just say sorry about that and keep it moving. So yep, is what it is.
Oh yeah. Has anybody got any questions for Mr. Nick? Richard Gummy there said he carries a small diamond honing stone.
That's a good one. Yeah, between that and the work sharp, those are both good options for sure.
Huh. Okay. I just toggled a little section there and it put all the comments right there in the corner somehow.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hadn't seen that before. I can. It's very small though. I can't quite make it out. So
Yeah, I don't know exactly what to do. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Let's see. Now, that's as big as it'll get. But I did find a way.
okay, yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. Was you not able to see the comments before? Or do you not have a
No,
section?
not until you. Uh, I might, but I'll be honest with you. I'm so bad with technology. I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even tell you.
Well, I'm looking at it through a laptop. I've never used StreamYard too much using my phone, but I've always used a laptop. But it seems like there've been at least once or twice, and it seemed like I had a hard time seeing the comments before when I did use the phone. But I mean, me actually being the host, I think they just show up more there that way.
Well, you asked me a bunch of questions. Let me ask you. When did you start your channel up?
Well, probably kind of started. I was kind of doing some stuff on Facebook already, but I kind of started the YouTube channel around the 2020, around the height of COVID.
What was your inspiration for starting it, or your purpose behind it?
Well, I mean, as far as actually being on YouTube and doing something like this, I always wanted to be kind of into broadcasting and be some type of an announcer or something like that. And as far as
Okay.
picking the actual niche that I picked, because I guess I could have done videos on numerous topics or even been some type of variety type channel. But I mean, I'm just an outdoorsman. I enjoy being out in the outdoors, hunting, fishing, things like that. And, camping. And then, when the shows like Dual Survival, stuff like that started coming on network TV, shows like Alone, it kind of got me back into the realm of things. I kind of got away from the outdoors a little bit, at least the camping aspect of it, and that kind of got me back into it. and then I got to where I wanted to go out in the woods and build a debris shelter or something like that. So I use that as a niche.
Yeah.
Um, they say it's good to to pick some type of niche if you're going to do YouTube, and just keep your content in one certain area. Now I could be just a variety type content creator, but a lot of times you might not really have a target audience if you do it that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you go over to TikTok, I'm not sure if you have TikTok or not, but if you check out and search out Hillbilly Heath, you'll see me doing lip sync videos. And a lot of folks say
Okay.
I'm pretty
Okay.
good. So that's something I also did as a kid. I used to play the old boombox in front of my mirror and lip sync 80s, 90s songs.
You know what? I might have to get a TikTok just for that. Just for that in particular.
I don't throw that out because I mean, every now and again I'll put some of the videos that I'll put elsewhere, because a lot of my shorts, YouTube shorts, I'll post on Facebook and Instagram as well. I mean, it'll be the same video, but I'll use it through all
Okay.
platforms. That way, you just see what you can get, uh, through all three platforms that way. But yeah,
Yeah.
here in the last little bit, we put together, from Thanksgiving on into, the last week or so, we put out a few short videos, kind of speaking on, different things when it comes to trying to be self-reliant, as far as, fixing and mending things yourself, growing a
Yep.
garden and canning and things like that. Things that have, that's still kind of relevant here in Eastern Kentucky and probably just the state of Kentucky in general.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I really like it wasn't the video, but it was a write-up that you did.
Mhm.
Uh, and I can't remember if it was no, it was about having there's no such thing as a perfect kit. It's whatever suits you for where you're at. I really like those write-ups that you did.
Yeah.
And it's just my opinion, but I'd like to see those keep going, because I shared that in the group because I thought it was very useful, because
Uh-oh.
people think that they think, no, there's a perfect item or a perfect list of items that I need to have to be functional with it, and that's just not the case. It's whatever works for you, where you're at, for that time, for that season, for that situation, and it's going to be different for everybody. There's no one size fits all list. Let's just be real.
Right. I'm not sure what's happening, but that whole time there when you was talking, it was kind of like buzzing in and out. I could understand what you were saying, but I don't know if it was on my end or your end.
Is it clear now?
No, I don't know. Every time you say something, it just kind of, I don't know for sure exactly what. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. I was just trying to catch up with the chat here and see what someone might be saying. I'm not sure what was causing that, because it's been good all the whole time until just your last talking point there.
Huh.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully it straightens out.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just I don't know exactly what was going on. I was just trying to see if I could figure out, but I mean everything seems to be all right.
Okay. Yeah, you asked earlier if we
Yeah.
had any plans as far as anything new coming up or new segments, and we
Mm-hmm.
started a new one. It's taken a little bit of time to get rolling, but it's from Red Hill Cutlery, but it's
Mm-hmm.
where me and Greg sit down. Me and Greg are the ones that do the quick talks usually down there, but you don't really see our faces. You just see our hands and the knife that we're focusing on.
Right.
Whereas this is more of a long form conversation between us, where we sit down and we talk about different subjects. I think one of the last ones we did was uh, the DNA of a Bowie knife or a Bowie knife, and
Mm-hmm.
how from the early days of the Viking people carrying big knives as like their do-it-all knife, up until Jim buoy and even current day buoys, how that general shape and design has evolved throughout time. So it's going to be more long form discussions, us sitting down at the Red Hill Cutlery, real nice, comfortable leather chairs, and a little tabletop where we pull the knives out that we're talking about and just have a conversation about it. Just it's called Get to the Point, and that's basically the newest segment that we've implemented that we've been doing, and they usually run about 4 or 5 minutes, some as long as maybe 8 to 10 minutes. But we're doing that, and then another aspect, I'm still going to be going to all these different events and stuff. The Hoosier Bushcraft stuff, and we'll be covering those. Different knife shows, outdoor events, stuff like that. And then we also have the flea market finds section to where we go in and we look at old axes, old machetes, old knives, stuff like that that we just happen to run across throughout our travels. So that's kind of few and far between. It just depends on if we're on a road trip or something like that. We run across some good peddlers malls. But the next thing that we're moving into is not just strictly tabletop reviews or out of the stump doing a couple tests with a knife. The next thing we're moving toward is more um, showing the items in use, like setting up camp, setting up a camp cookery setup where we show the different cook pots and different stuff like that being used over the fire, and how we set them up. So that's the next thing that we're moving toward. Probably I'd say probably January, February. We should have some more of those start going up. The first few should probably start going up then.
I like that title though. Get to the point.
Yeah. We try to keep it pretty short and quick and concise, and we
Well,
don't want to drag things out and waste anybody's time. It just
right. I mean,
if you want a quick review, we got that, and then we got some more longer form stuff if that's what you're into.
but I mean, I guess it's kind of a play on words because of talking about the point on a knife, and you're just saying, get to the point, or just being a quick video and things like that.
Right.
Oh, that's what this fella here. You say his name was John, your buddy there. That's what he was talking about there.
Yeah, it's my buddy John Duke. Yeah, he's been down there to Red Hill with me a couple times. It's a good time every time. So
Gummy there said,
what was his question? I didn't see it.
Oh, he said he's been enjoying the Get to the Point segment, and he asked if new
good
segment.
good.
And you talked about some of the new stuff so he kind of answered his question.
Yeah, there's going to be more stuff like that. I used to do real primitive camping to where I would just take a kayak and a little folding skillet and a big knife, or sometimes a not so big knife, and a tarp, and I would strap it on the kayak, go drop it in the lake, maybe Rough River, Taylorsville, Dale Hollow, somewhere like that, and I would just paddle until I found a little beach with nothing around. I'd pull up and I'd spend the weekend there with a fishing pole. I ate what I caught. I would take that kayak and set it up on its side, run the tarp down over it like a shelter, sleep under that, and it was just that was how I camped. And so there's probably going to be some of that in the future when it warms up a little bit. Kind of get back to my roots. It's been a while since I've done that, so the itch is there. So I'll be taking this phone with me and recording when I do it. So
yeah, I'm not sure how feasible it's going to be, but that's something I've been talking about. Kind of how the Hoosier Bushcraft guys do, but maybe doing some kind of gathering here in my area, or on my property. Maybe this spring or summer. I don't know. We'll have to see how many people might be interested in coming. But I mean, I got a pretty good area here where folks could set up camp, and it could be like have one big community fire or something like that, and just sit around and talk and whatnot.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Let's see here. I guess. Oh yeah, Gummy said.
Well, I just saw a comment come up. Oh, being bad with technology is my superpower. I hear you. It's same here, buddy. Same here.
I guess anything I do know about
I'll tell you what, this,
self-taught.
yeah, this StreamYard platform, I thought it was going to be a bigger headache when you told me about, you
Hmm.
know, this is how we were going to do this, but it was very easy. I mean, it was click on the link, unmute your microphone, and that was it. Like it was two buttons. It was nothing.
Just stream straight to YouTube. I mean, you were using a third-party app, so to speak, but it's still, you connect your YouTube channel to it, or if you have, you can do it from Facebook, however you want to do it. But um, the thing is, though, with YouTube now, uh, I kind of started doing this because I liked having guests to talk to on, and at one point that's the only way you could do this. But now on YouTube, you can stream, you can set up a stream straight on YouTube and have guests, without using StreamYard nowadays.
Yeah,
But a few years back, you couldn't do that. But
yeah.
it's
I thought about doing the little going live function on there, but I never tried it.
yeah, you should sometime.
Yeah, I might have to give it a shot.
Well, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot more questions, but I do appreciate you coming on. I think I'll probably go ahead and end it here and continue on with the day and see what
Okay.
I might get into. But I appreciate you being a guest. I appreciate you, agreeing to be a guest on the show, and appreciate the interview. Maybe someday
I appreciate you having me on. Do what?
I said maybe someday soon we'll be able to collab again.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm always open to it. And before I jump off here, let me just tell y'all, anybody that's going to these events, these knife shows or these events at Red Hill Cutlery, you see this hat, this green hat with the white Bigfoot walking around on it.
Yeah.
This is the hat that I wear to every one of these events that I go to. So if you see this hat and you want to talk about what kind of knife you're carrying, just come holler at me. Because if you don't, I'm probably going to come holler at you and ask you, what kind of knife you got on you, why do you like it, so on and so forth. So I really, really like doing the pocket checks because I like seeing what people carry on them and what they favor and why they favor it. It's very interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, at work, I manage a hardware store. I think I've mentioned that to you before. What I carry at work is just a folding Milwaukee, box cutter or utility knife. So you can
I
change.
think I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's even got a screwdriver on one side of
Mm-hmm.
it. So it's kind of a multi-tool. But I don't really, when it comes to that type of work, just cutting cardboard and tape and maybe occasionally cutting some vinyl holes or something like that, or some rope. That's the only thing I don't take a good blade with me to work. I'll just use that because you can change the blades out pretty quick.
Right. Yeah, those Milwaukees, everybody that I know that carries one swears by them, and I can see why. It just seems like a very, very handy tool for sure.
I even have before we do go, I'll show this one if I can find it. Watch me not be able to find it right off the bat. Now, this ain't the one I'm talking about, but it's a fixed blade Milwaukee.
Oh yeah. Okay. I recently did a fixed blade Milwaukee review on it, and it was tough as nails. I took that thing and beat it through a log with another log, hammered it through it,
Yeah.
bent on it, and everything else, and it was none the worse for wear. It's a duck knife. It's serrated on one side and a plain edge on the other one, but it's a Milwaukee, and they make some good knives.
This is all straight edge, but I mean, it's full tang. I mean, you can see the metal coming through here.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can beat the heck out of that.
I kind of put some camo tape over the Milwaukee sign, but it's all right.
Yeah.
It's with a pretty good.
Yeah, the one I'm carrying today, I usually carry a fixed blade and a folder and sometimes a multi-tool, but the one I'm carrying today is the Kaiser Mini Militall,
Hmm.
and I'm still trying to get used to it. It's a liner lock, but it's a front flipper, and I'm still trying to get the hang of it. I'm just not. I'm used to having the back tab to flip it open, and
Right.
not used to that front flipper on there. But the cool thing about these, if you look at the handle, this little panel in here is removable, and you can get aftermarket panels or inserts to go in there. So you can
Okay.
get carbon fiber. This one's got micarta on G10, but you can get a bunch of different. I think they got wood ones. They got some that are Ultim, but I was looking for a carbon fiber one, but they're all sold out everywhere. So I'm stuck with it as I got it from the factory. But it's a sharp knife and it's got a great little shape to it.
Mhm.
But I haven't carried it enough to really be used to it quite yet, so I'm trying to get some more time in with it.
There you go. That's all it takes. Get some time
Like,
in. You'll probably like it even better than what you do now.
oh yeah, they make a good product. I give it to them. Kaiser makes some really great knives.
John there says you're a Sasquatch in real life.
Hey, I might be. They got a T-shirt down at Red Hill that says "Sasquatch saw me down at Red Hill Cutlery," and I'm probably gonna wind up having to get one of those because that's yeah, you might have seen me down there lurking around.
That's a good one. Well,
Yep.
man, I appreciate it. Probably going to jump off here. It's been great. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that's
Yeah.
been here today. It's been a good show, good stream. Um, if you didn't catch the stream, you can always watch the replay and go and support Nick's Quick Reviews and Frontier Survival if you haven't already. But Nick, appreciate you, and I'll go ahead
Yeah, I
and sign.
appreciate you, and I'm gonna share the heck out of this as soon as I'm not banned anymore. So,
That'll be fine. I appreciate that. But guys, y'all know
all
what
right,
I.
y'all have a good one.
You too, man. Appreciate you. And guys, to stay. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Boy, my thoughts just left me just like that. I tell you what, here I am trying to say something. But anyway, guys, we appreciate each and every one of you. It's been great. And we'll see you on the next one.
Merry Christmas.